Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight on the news, hear from Coach Frost for the first time since firing 4 assistant coaches.
Plus, the Nebraska Corrections Union strikes a historic deal with the governor.
But first tonight,
and it's really promising data, so I'm excited to see the full data and get the approval.
doctors are ready for another weapon against COVID-19. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. As we prepare for winter, doctors are preparing for a potential new wave of COVID-19.
But in the future weeks, we may have another treatment for COVID-19 in the U.S., this time in a pill form. Channel 8's Alexis Ganeski has more information in our top story tonight. Alexa?
Yeah, that's right. Just days after the UK authorized Merck's COVID-19 pill, our local hospitals here in Lincoln are preparing for a potential authorization here. It would be the first pill to treat COVID-19 symptoms for some at-risk Americans. There could be a potential new tool in the fight against COVID-19 if authorized. An antiviral pill could possibly be in our cabinets by the end of the year.
But the goal would be to kind of stop the virus from multiplying more and making the infection not last as long.
According to data, the pill is designed to be taken after contracting COVID-19. It would lessen your symptoms and reduce the risk of hospitalizations or death. But doctors are stressing this would not take the place of a vaccine.
But if you're vaccinated and get the infection or unvaccinated and get the infection, these antiviral medication that works toward COVID-19 can help, but it does not replace vaccine.
The Biden administration has already allocated for approximately 1.7 million Merck pills for the treatment pending approval. While Merck's version of the pill could be the first authorized in the U.S., other drug companies are stepping up and also pursuing the antiviral pills for the coronavirus. Pfizer says their pill cuts hospitalizations and risk of death by nearly 90% for high-risk patients within days of their COVID symptoms. At this time, if the pill is approved, we are unaware if it will be sold over the counter. Trials are underway for both sets of pills, although that data hasn't been released yet. Until that information is available, the pill's side effects are unknown. As we're just weeks away from a decision, CHI Health is already preparing.
Anytime there's a new tool, we're all discussing this. And even yesterday at a state meeting, we were discussing the possibility of approval and for all the hospitals and clinics to be able to get the drug.
Now, the FDA will vote in a few weeks on November 30th whether they'll grant emergency use authorization for Merck's pill. No date has been set on when Pfizer's version of the pill will be voted on, but they say they plan to submit data as soon as possible. Rod, Megan?
Alexa, thank you very much for our top story tonight. And other local news on a related note, Southwest High School is warning families to be watching for COVID symptoms after 3 people tested positive.
That's right. Officials have not specified who those cases involved, just that they were on campus at some point recently. The school says it's working with the health department. They're doing contact tracing to try and identify anyone who may have been in close contact with the infected individuals. COVID-19 also talked about last night at the LPS board meeting.
A local doctor compared our area's battle against COVID-19 to Swiss cheese. During his presentation on local and nationwide COVID cases, Dr. Bob Browner said no layer is perfect, saying vaccines, masks, and ventilation are not perfect, but when added together, they will help against COVID. He stressed LPS needs the entire community to work together because campuses can only do so much to protect children.
There's only so much Lincoln Public Schools can do by itself. It needs to be part of a community strategy. So if other people are not being careful out in the community, there's only so much we can do.
Browner says vaccines are how we protect people around us and are especially important with the upcoming holiday season. And a disturbing trend emerging due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Doctors at the Mayo Clinic estimate more than 1 million Americans are out of work right now because of long-haul COVID symptoms, some more than a year after they caught the virus.
Lori Bedell feels trapped inside her Pittsburgh home and her ailing body.
I feel like I've lost the life that I had.
It's been nearly a year since she and her family contracted COVID. Her father died. Today, she's still battling post-COVID syndrome, a mysterious long-term condition plaguing some COVID patients. Once perfectly healthy, she now keeps this long list of symptoms, like severe fatigue, brain fog, and constant pain.
I literally can't even leave my house by myself.
She needs a walker just to get the mail.
How are you feeling now?
A little winded.
Could you even work right now?
No. I barely function.
Before COVID, Lori was the nursing director for a home health agency, but she hasn't worked since January. After using up her paid time off, she was laid off.
Sorry. Losing that job and losing that part of me has been really hard. I've become one of the patients that I cared for.
Lori's case is severe, but she's not alone.
Unfortunately, it's quite alarming.
Dr. Greg Van Nishkeshorn is seeing this constantly. His team at the Mayo Clinic treats and studies post-COVID syndrome. Looking at data from their clinic and several other studies, they've noticed a troubling trend.
We estimate that approximately 1.3 million individuals are out of work right now due to long-haul COVID symptoms.
Mark Zandi is chief economist of Moody's Analytics. He says the doctor's estimate makes sense.
Long COVID is increasingly a significant headwind to the labor market getting back to normal for businesses to get their business operations up and running. And
most of the long haulers they're studying have well-paying jobs and good insurance.
My fear is that there are individuals out there who are suffering severely from this condition, but they simply can't take time off of work to go get care.
The U.S. government recognizes long COVID as a disability, and patients can apply for assistance. But it can take months, and some long haulers say they've been denied.
It's been a catastrophe for us.
Lori Bedell just applied for disability and is awaiting an answer. She and her husband have used up their savings and retirement funds just to pay the bills.
Honestly, I'm terrified that I'm never going to be able to go back to work.
Back to local news now. Some big news tonight for prison workers here in Nebraska.
After weeks of talks, the governor and union officials strike an historic deal. After years of challenges, a step in the right direction for the corrections system of Nebraska. A big deal being put forward that includes an $8 an hour raise for current corrections employees and some DHHS workers. I talked to the vice president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Jerry Britton. He says that means, for example, a new corrections worker or caseworker who would have started out at $20 an hour will now be at $28. And employees will get a $1 per hour raise each year, capping their wage at $34 an hour. Britton says the current contract between the union and the state wasn't up until next September, but with the staffing shortage problem right now, both sides knew something had to be done, especially with workers putting in extra hours and mandatory overtime right now. So the deal also includes double pay for all overtime and 2.5 times pay for working holidays. Britton says that part of the deal will continue until the shortage problem is fixed. Now, the agreement also increases tuition assistance, military leave, and allows new parents to take 12 weeks off after a child is born. And the $15,000 sign-on hiring bonus will continue at the 4 state prisons facing the biggest staffing issues. Now, the union will be voting on this new agreement over the next few days. If approved, and it's expected that will happen, these increases will go into effect on December 6th. Industries across the state say they're dealing with labor shortages.
In a recent survey of about 300 business leaders in Nebraska, more than 90% say that the lack of skilled workers is impacting their ability to grow.
We're creating all these new jobs, but we're not creating enough people to fill those jobs. That actually was occurring before the pandemic. What the pandemic did was accelerate this process to the point that we now have 50 to 70,000 jobs open in Nebraska that we can't fill.
Now, the unemployment rate actually shrunk from 3% before the pandemic to about 1.3% now. Brian Seck, a recruiter for Kawasaki Motors, says the lack of available workers in the state has forced businesses to get creative.
How do you go find that person who has a part-time job but wants to work full-time? How do you find that person that maybe they're doing something right now, but they want to try something different? That's really our target.
As part of the survey, business leaders were asked which areas could be improved to encourage people to move to Nebraska to fill some of these jobs. The top 3 answers: affordable housing, good education and childcare options, and recreational activities and events.
Let's get to your first forecast now with Chief Meteorologist John Dishauer here in the Lincoln area. Soggy afternoon. A lot of people seeing rain, John?
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of rain, especially as you're getting east of the Tri-Cities as we head into the evening hours. The rain, though, is starting to taper off in some spots. We had some moderate downpours moving through the Lincoln area about an hour ago. You can see right now a live look from Allo Communications at South 21st and L Street. A lot of clouds overhead. We're trying to see some breaks out in the distance, but the roads remain wet. And a lot of you that were out driving this evening had to deal with that. Thunderstorms are off to the east and to the southeast outside of the Channel 8 viewing area. You can see where we still have some lingering showers back towards York, also down towards Hebron. Heading towards the Crete area, the heavier downpours in Lincoln are now along the state line between Iowa and Nebraska, and they will keep pushing off to the east. We picked up nearly a third of an inch of rain today in Lincoln, a quarter of an inch in Beatrice, lesser amounts to the south and southwest. A cold front, well, it's right overhead, moving off to the east, and will continue to do so. Back behind it, there is some slightly cooler air coming our way, but more so, winds will begin to increase as our winds turn more out of the northwest and starts to bring in some cooler air. For the rest of this evening, we'll keep a chance for a shower through 6 and maybe even through 7 or 8 o'clock for some of us. 48 degrees by 10 o'clock. We'll keep clouds around through, well, the clouds will be on the decrease as we go through the overnight hours. Winds will begin to increase and temperatures start to decrease. Wait till you see the wind chill values by Friday morning. Some of you could be into the teens.
Oh,
We'll have the details on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Not sure we want to see that. All right, thank you, John. Sports now. Today was the first time Scott Frost met with the media since firing 4 assistant coaches on Monday.
The head coach said the last 72 hours has been tough on everyone, especially the players.
It's been tough. It's been tough on coaches and players and everyone. You know, the guys we let go are really good coaches, and they're even better men, and those are hard decisions that had to be made, and I can't thank those guys enough. I couldn't care about those guys anymore. A lot of the players feel the same way, so it's been a tough 72.
And our own Kelsey Casper will have more details on that in sports at 6 o'clock. And speaking of the Huskers, a longtime Nebraska tradition is being discussed tonight.
For the second time, UNL's student government is looking to end the balloon release at Husker football games. As many of you know, these helium balloons are released after the Huskers' first touchdown. Some, including the Association of Students at UNL, say the balloons hurt the environment. It's going to be voting on a resolution tonight that would call for the practice to end.
When they go up, they come back down, and there ends up being thousands of balloons a year in waterways, in fields of farmers. I've actually talked to some farmers, and they say like they're tired of going out to the field every Saturday after the football games or sometimes Sundays to pick the balloons out.
However, ASUN does not have the authority to end the tradition itself. That decision would have to come from the athletic department. The vote is going to happen this evening at 6:30. We'll have the details on our 10 o'clock newscast. Coming up, a federal judge ruling that documents will be released concerning the January 6th insurrection.
That and your full forecast right after the break.
Get a load of the DQ Loaded A1 Steakhouse Burger, stacked with thick cut bacon, crunch.
In national news, former President Trump's bid to keep his White House documents hidden from the House Select Committee investigating January 6th was rejected by a federal judge.
This as more members of Trump's inner circle are subpoenaed by the committee. ABC's Em Nguyen is following this story from Washington.
A major setback for Donald Trump as the National Archives readies to hand over his White House records to the House Select Committee investigating the deadly January 6th Capitol riot. USA! The former president initially tried to block any disclosures, claiming executive privilege, the right a president has to keep selective advice from aides confidential. But a federal judge says that doctrine doesn't apply to former presidents. Since Trump is no longer the commander-in-chief and after Joe Biden already determined that the documents should be released, the matter seemed clear for the judge. Presidents are not kings, her ruling stated, and plaintiff is not president. The committee saying they, quote, look forward to receiving these documents, which could come as early as Friday. At the same time, they're seeking information from 10 more members of Trump's inner circle, subpoenaing officials like former press secretary Kayleigh McEnany. That brings the total number of subpoenas to around 35, but it's unclear whether the witnesses will comply. One of only 2 Republicans on the committee and its co-chair, Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney, urging fellow Republicans to help bring the truth behind January 6th to light.
When our constitutional order is threatened, as it is now, rising above partisanship is not simply an aspiration, it is an obligation.
And the fallout from the insurrection continues. A judge sentenced a rioter who punched a police officer during the Capitol attack to just under 3.5 years. It's the most severe punishment handed out yet, though that may be trumped with this man, Jacob Chansley, known as the QAnon shaman, who was seen walking the halls of Congress with a spear. Prosecutors are recommending he receive over 4 years behind bars. Trump's lawyers are appealing the court ruling. That could delay the National Archives from turning over the documents to the Select Committee. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dessauer.
The day started out cloudy with clouds that stuck around throughout the day, and as advertised, we would see rain moving in through the afternoon, and that was definitely the case. And the rain at times, moderate and even some heavy pockets of rain moving through southeast Nebraska at times late this afternoon and now as we head towards the evening. Take a live look right now from Schoen's Roofing in Beatrice. You can see we've got wet roads there along South 6th Street and Perkins Street there on the south side of town. Take you now to a live shot from Honda of Lincoln on the southwest side of town. Same story. We've got right along South 27th Street and Yankee Hill Road, wet streets out there. Rain still falling in some locations. It is letting up as opposed to what it was doing right around 4 o'clock this afternoon. You can see right now on radar heavier pockets off to the east heading over towards Nebraska City, where there's even a few lightning strikes within that, meaning we've got a couple of isolated thunderstorms embedded. Now we take a look out to the south and west of Lincoln out towards Dorchester. To the east of Friend, we've got a little pocket of some moderate to maybe some heavy rainfall. But that is the last of the heavier rain that's moving through the area. Once that passes through, we should be done with the rain for the evening. You'll see that on Stormcast with most of the rain out of here, I think, by 7, 8 o'clock tonight. After that, we'll keep cloudy skies initially, with clouds decreasing as we go through the overnight hours. Rainfall today, just under 1/3 of an inch in Lincoln, 1/4 of an inch in Beatrice, near that in Wahoo, and lesser amounts as you go further to the west and to the southwest. A cold front is currently moving through eastern Nebraska. Behind the front, we will see cooler temperatures tomorrow, although not a drastic drop in temperatures. We'll get highs back into the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees. Winds right now beginning to increase, and they'll continue to spread off to the east as we go through the next several hours, with the potential for some 25, 30 mile per hour gusts possible through the evening and through the overnight. Right now we're sitting at 52 degrees. That's after a high reaching in the low 60s this afternoon. In Lincoln, it's 51 degrees in Beatrice. It's 46 right now in Central City and 49 degrees in Aurora. For the rest of this evening, we'll keep mostly cloudy skies around. 51 degrees by 8, 48 degrees by 10 o'clock. Eventually, tomorrow morning, we will drop down into the 30s, down to 35 degrees in Lincoln. Winds gusting at times to 23 miles per hour, so wind chills will likely be down into the low 20s early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, temperatures pretty uniform across southeast Nebraska. Highs right around 50 degrees. Maybe a little warmer down towards Hebron, Fairbury, and Beatrice up to 53. Winds, though, will be gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour at times throughout the day tomorrow. So that's going to make it feel just a little cooler. Wind chill values will likely be in the upper 30s to low 40s. By noon, you can see we've got winds gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour, maybe increasing just a little bit, especially up towards Columbus later towards the afternoon. And then into Thursday evening, we'll keep some strong winds around as well. On Friday, and I had teased this, we could see wind chill values dropping into the teens, and that could be the case Friday morning. Down to 18 degrees is what's forecast right now in Columbus, 20 degrees in Grand Island. This is at 7 a.m. Friday morning. And notice as we go through the day, winds will be gusting at times 40 to 45 miles per hour. Air temperatures will only be in the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. So wind chills throughout the day on Friday will only be in the 20s. So make sure you find your jackets, gloves, scarves, and anything else you can do to stay warm from the wind. A cold morning Saturday morning down to 18 degrees. Saturday afternoon highs only in the 40s. Same story on Sunday. Again, we'll have a fair amount of clouds around over the next several days. Still looking for a warm up coming on Tuesday. Highs into the upper 60s before another cold front comes through, bringing a chance for some rain maybe Wednesday morning. And then we'll start seeing some cooler temperatures by the end of next week with highs in the upper 40s.
All right. Thank you very much, John. Hey, here's a look at Wall Street today. Not a great day. The Dow fell 240 points. NASDAQ fell 264. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Night after the powerful testimonies.
Get to the bottom of what happened.
Finally tonight, a big surprise at the London Zoo.
A baby two-toed sloth. Take a look at this cuteness. Zookeepers had no idea the mother was actually pregnant. So the hasty newborn arrival, definitely surprising everyone. The gender of the baby is currently unknown, but they've decided to name it Terry.
Just Terry.
Isn't it cuddly and cute?
It does look nice. All right, let's get a final check of the weather. With John, how's it look?
Still a little wet outside. We've got showers around for the next couple of hours. You can see right now on the radar how this is all moving off to the east. I think we'll be done with the rain in Lincoln probably by 7 o'clock, maybe even 8 o'clock at the very latest. Forecast for the rest of this evening, 51 by 6, 50 by 8. Now, don't be surprised. The winds will start to increase as we go later on into the evening. We may have some gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour, but nowhere near as strong as it's going to be Thursday and especially on Friday.
All right. Thank you, John, and thank you for joining us.
World News is up next, and we'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We're up before the sun, so we can make breakfast for our friends and family. Hot off the griddle, fresh as can be. At Amigos.
Closed captioning